Hello, hello. How are you doing, my darling viewers? Mshindaje, how was your Saturday? Well, mine was good, but I'm here, of course, just to make sure that you're well, updated with the top stories of the day from across the country. And of course, we have Say What? Na leo nakwambia mtandao make sure nimeasha moto kidogo. And I really thank you for all the comments, the feedback that I've gotten throughout the day. Of course, regarding our very sensitive and very important topic. Tonight, we're discussing silent divorce. I know some of you are feeling it. You're in it right now as we speak. That's going to be our topic of discussion. I have a fantastic panel of guests. We have Becky. How are you doing? Do you know this topic? Actually, I started it because of what you said online.
Yeah, right.
So, Salimiana, say hi to the audience.
Hi, all the viewers, and especially those who are going through silent divorce.
Silent divorce.
I got your back.
Oh my goodness. So later on, we'll be playing what she said online. And you guys, you can't miss this discussion. And I want you also to chime in. We also have Sam Sengo. How are you doing?
Hi, Betty.
Today you look proper now that the wife has done everything
the
good.
Is black and white.
Yeah, right.
And of course, we'll also be having Pastor Sue, our favorite. She's going to be joining the discussion. I've already seen the comments. There are so many. And we'll be getting deep into that discussion because it's very important. And of course, it's affecting so many couples across the country, the world, the society, and obviously everything in between. So you know what? Let's begin the show with the highlights. Authorities temporarily closed the busy southern bypass after a collision between a lorry and a fuel tanker sparks a major fire. Health CS Aiden Duale defends senior social health authority appointments, stressing that the process was merit-based and free from political influence. The State Department of Public Health now warns that nearly 3,500 of 6,000 women screened annually for cervical cancer in the country die within a year, highlighting serious gaps in early detection and treatment. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, this is TV47 Weekend Edition. My name is Betty Kyallo. Let's get, of course, straight into our bulletin tonight. And our sign language anchor is Rhoda Nyamai. Now, the Health Cabinet Secretary Aiden Duale has moved to allay concerns over alleged regional and ethnic imbalance in the recruitment of county operations managers at the Social Health Authority. Now, this comes after reports showed that 22 out of the 47 appointees were drawn from 2 communities. While defending the process, Duale insisted that the recruitment was transparent, merit-based, and fully guided by the Constitution. Stanley Nyaringita tells us more.
A review of the recently appointed Social Health Authority SHA County Operations Managers shows the full list of 47 appointees and the counties they have been posted to. However, a closer look at the communities the managers hailed from reveals that 22 of the 47 are drawn from just 2 communities, raising concerns over ethnic and regional balance. Following a public outcry demanding transparency in the recruitment process, Health Cabinet Secretary Aiden Duale has promised to convene a meeting next week where SHA's top leadership will be expected to explain the process behind the appointment of the 47 county managers.
And tomorrow, Monday, I will call both the board and I will call the management of the Social Health Authority to take me through.
While defending the authority of SHA's top leadership, Duale has emphasized that the Kenyan Constitution plays a central role in ensuring fair employment practices.
Article 10 and the public service guidelines will be considered to make sure all regions, all communities, and all religions and all gender are given equal opportunity.
In addition to addressing the appointments, CS Duale has praised SHA for successfully providing teachers with affordable insurance, further revealing that in 3 months, security personnel will also be enrolled under the program.
And from the 1st of April, we are going to manage the medical scheme of our security forces, the police and the prison.
Concerns over regional imbalance during public recruitment are not new in the country. In March 2024, the High Court nullified the recruitment of 1,406 Kenya Revenue Authority assistants of allegations of tribalism and nepotism. Stanley Nyaringita, TV47.
Now to some devastating news. Chaos gripped Nairobi's southern bypass this morning after a fuel tanker heading towards Kikuyu lost control, hit a pavement and collided with another heavy vehicle, triggering a fiery explosion. Now the accident left one person dead and another hospitalized with injuries. Faith Wangari reports.
Emotions say it all. Relatives and friends of the accident victim overcome with grief as the body was recovered from the crash site. What was meant to be a routine morning on Nairobi's busy southern bypass turned into chaos when disaster struck. A fuel tanker heading to Kikuyu lost control, hitting the pavement. Moments later, another vehicle collided with it, setting off a deadly chain of events near the Carnival Wilson Airport area.
The driver lost control and veered off the road, against the other side, the direction, the other side, right side of the road, where he collided with another trailer that was coming from Kikuyu General direction toward
The impact caused the tanker to overturn, tumbling from the elevated carriage onto the road below. Fuel spilled and ignited almost immediately, triggering a massive explosion that engulfed the tanker in flames. Thick black smoke billowed into the sky, visible from kilometers away as motorists scrambled to safety. The blast also damaged 3 vehicles parked at a nearby car wash. Tragically, one person lost their life, while another was injured and rushed to hospital for treatment. Langata Sub-County Police Commander confirmed.
As a result, we have lost one person, the driver of the vehicle that was coming from the general direction. The driver of the vehicle that busted and was carrying jet fuel, fortunately, he sustained injuries, was rescued and taken to the nearby hospital.
In the past year, Kenya has recorded at least 5 major tanker accidents between June 14, 2025 and January 24, 2026. These incidents often involve explosions, have caused death, injuries and major traffic disruptions, underscoring the high risk on major highways and busy bypasses across the country. Faith Wangari for TV47.
Now, the State Department of Public Health has raised alarm over rising deaths from cervical cancer, with about 3,500 out of 6,000 women screened failing to survive each year. Only half of eligible women seek screening, even as experts warn that the disease often shows no early symptoms, putting thousands at risk. Elizabeth Atieno tells us more.
Kenya loses 9 women to cervical cancer every day. This translates to approximately 3,200 deaths annually, making it the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the country. Each year, about 5,236 new cases of cervical cancer are diagnosed.
Almost 6,000 women are diagnosed every year, and more than half of those women die.
About 80% of cervical cancer cases are caused by the human papillomavirus HPV, which is transmitted through sexual contact. Other contributing factors include poor hygiene, low immunity due to HIV, and excessive smoking. The human papillomavirus takes about 10 to 15 years to develop in the body, hence screening and vaccination are currently the most effective preventive measures.
In Kenya particularly, we are not even half of screening our women.
Some of the symptoms of cervical cancer include vaginal bleeding, pain during intercourse, pelvic pain, and changes in vaginal discharge, often accompanied by a strong odor and unusual color.
At the moment, SHA has a package of 800,000 for treatment of cancer.
HPV vaccination, which commenced in 2019 targeting girls aged 10 to 14 years, has been cited as the cornerstone of cervical cancer prevention. The vaccine is administered in 2 doses, 6 months apart. According to the National Cancer Program, uptake of the HPV vaccine has increased from 15% in 2021 to 38% in 2024. January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. This year's theme is empowering storytellers by celebrating survivor voices and advocating for prevention, screening, and early detection. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth, for that. Definitely to all women, let's continue getting screened, definitely for cervical cancer, at least once a year. Let's move on to our next top stories. And 5 grade 10 students in Kwale County have reported to Mvindeni Secondary School without uniforms or feeding program fees following a directive by President William Ruto that all learners return to school despite financial hardships faced by many families. Now, one of the students, Feruz Rama, arrived at the school accompanied by a parent a day after the president's directive, with his mother saying financial challenges prevented her from buying a uniform. School Principal John Kibui confirmed receiving the students after they were presented by a local administrator, adding that the school expects 450 learners, but only 177 have so far reported.
We have received 5 students without uniforms, no lunch program. They're able to admit them unconditionally. We even had to organize for their meals. They came in without utensils and were brought to school by the assistant chief, Diani, plus the village chairman, and they were glad to join us.
Nimeshukuru kufika shule kwa sababu singekuwa rahisi kama sio serikali. Kwa hiyo naunga mkono serikali pia kwa kunileta shule, hata kama sikuja kwa uniform zangu, lakini nashukuru pia kwa kufika hapa.
Now, divisions within the ODM party continue to deepen, with a section of leaders from the Western region urging party boss Dr. Oburu Oginga to address growing internal rifts. Led by Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya, the leaders warned that failure to act could plunge the party into disarray. Now, speaking in Kakamega County, they said they will not tolerate disrespect towards the region, even as ODM leaders from Nyanza meeting in Kisumu pledged support for structured talks with UDA. Elizabeth Mutuku reports.
The internal wrangles within the ODM party show no signs of ending soon. Leaders from the party's large Western region base are now openly criticizing the party leader, Dr. Oburu Oginga, and Deputy Party Leader Kisii Governor Simba Arati, claiming that they disrespected the regional leader, Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and MSMEs Development, Wycliffe Oparanya.
Ukitukana Oparanya, umetukana watu wa Kakamega. Kama unajua unakuja hapa kutukana Wycliffe ambaye Oparanya, ukae kwako. Kule kwako kuna shida mingi. Pambana huko na Matiani. Pambana huko hata ukupata hata kiti ya MCA hivi juzi kwa hizi elections.
It is totally unacceptable, Oburu Odinga, to sit in a meeting. Alafu huyu anatusi baba yetu ya Kakamega.
Kama unajisifu, unajisikia wewe ni mkubwa, wewe ni party leader, deputy party leader, hata hiyo chama tuliingia hapo tukiangalia mbele. Na tunaweza kupatia mgongo. Kama tulikuangalia kwa uso, tunaweza kupatia mgongo. Na hatuna aibu. We tell you, my friend, keep off.
The leaders now demanding that Dr. Oburu Oginga takes decisive steps to restore order within ODM and find a solution to the escalating disputes which they want could further weaken the already troubled party.
Mambo ya pesa imeharibu viongozi. Viongozi anaenda hapa, anaongea jambo lingine, akisoka hapa kwa sababu amepewa pesa. Kichwa imechanganyika. Anaongea mengine kwa sababu ya pesa. Haya mambo ambayo naona saa hii sikuona wakati wa marehemu Raila Amolo Odinga.
And while the Western region leaders forecast their criticism on Dr. Oburu and Arati, the party leader was busy leading a consultation meeting with Nyanza region leaders as well as their supporters, aiming to strengthen the party. During the meeting, he sought support for continued dialogue with the UDA party, emphasizing the importance of staying committed to the broad-based government.
Hakuna decision itachukuliwa kutoka kwa dirisha. Chama iko na structures and the decisions will be made through the relevant party structures. And once they are approved, there will be no reverse gear. We will be moving forward on our way to Canaan.
To get the Ministry of Energy, it will be dictated by the number of MPs we have, by the number of governors we have, by the number of MCAs we have, not by the level of noise that we are making.
Oburu Oginga maintains that he is capable of steering the party to greater heights. Whether he will succeed where the late Raila Odinga faced challenges remains to be seen. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47, Nairobi.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth, for that. Now, women leaders from Mombasa County have welcomed the appointment of Mama Ida Odinga as Kenya's ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations Environment Programme. While they say the nomination has raised Kenya's global profile, even as it awaits parliamentary approval. Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir said the appointment comes at a critical time amid rising political temperatures. Paul Kurobi reports.
Just one day after the appointment of Mama Ida Odinga to the United Nations Environmental Programme, women leaders drawn from the coast region have lauded the move, appreciating President Ruto for the appointment. This coming at a time when the head of state is seeking support from ODM members as he looks ahead to the 2027 elections.
Na tunakuahidi ya kwamba tutaendelea kufanya kazi katika serikali ya broad-based, kuhakikisha ya kwamba matunda zaidi tumeweza kuyapata hapa ndani ya Pwani na Kwale County kwa ujumla.
Mwenyezi Mungu asimame na wewe William Samoei Ruto kwa kuweka ahadi ambazo uliziweka baina yako wewe na baba.
We know Mama Ida has sacrificed a lot for the reforms which enjoy today in this country.
Mama Ida's appointment is seen as part of the fruits gained through the broad-based government, an initiative that was planned by both the president and the late Raila Odinga. The move is also viewed as a sign of President Ruto's commitment to the agreement made between ODM leaders and the government.
Hii yote najaribu kuelezea ya kwani watu wa msimamo mmoja ya kwa tusiwe ni wenye kukeuka pale ambapo kwamba tumetoa kauli yetu.
Mama Ida's appointment comes at a time when ODM members are also pushing for the implementation of the NADCO report to ensure the full realization of what was agreed by the committee set up to facilitate dialogue and consensus building.
Wallahi paka nasikia kulia. Akahakikisha amemstiri mjane yule. Amemweka Mama Ida mahali pazuri. Mama Ida anaenda kutuwakilisha kule UNEP.
President Ruto yesterday appointed Mama Ida as ambassador and permanent representative of Kenya to the United Nations Environmental Programme. The name will now be forwarded to Parliament for approval. According to the statement, Ida's appointment is expected to strengthen Kenya's engagement with global environmental governance and reinforce the country's long-standing role as host of UNEP and a key voice in international environmental diplomacy. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Now, AVLC Group, an intermediate financial consultant to the World Bank in Kenya, has issued a 170 million shillings offer letter to Siraji Savings and Credit Cooperative Society in a move aimed at supporting small and medium enterprises across the country. Now, the facility targets micro, small and medium enterprises whose operations were disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic, while also strengthening long-term business resilience. The World Bank set aside the fund to support affected businesses with the loans channeled through AVLC Kenya. 5 circles are already in the program, with beneficiaries set to access credit at a 9% interest rate and a grace period of between 3 and 5 years.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mo. This funding is a World Bank funding which is distributed through Kenya Development Corporation, and it targets, it's called Safer Fund, and it targets small and medium enterprise. And if you remember from COVID time, there was a lot of damage done to the small industries, that SMEs, micro and small enterprise. And SACCOs, just as Siraj, are one of the best avenues to reach to those businesses because they are on the ground, they understand the need, they have customized the need for their clients, and they are able to collect feedback continuously to ensure that they walk through the journey of recovery.
We are glad that KDC has approved for us 170 million.
Now, DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua has unveiled his manifesto during a tour of Kirinyaga and Nyeri counties, pledging to roll back what he terms harmful government policies and restore public confidence in leadership. While speaking in Kagumo, Kirinyaga Central, Gachagua admitted that the administration's perceived lack of empathy has hurt its image, but insisted he remains committed to accountability. On regional development, Gachagua said he will tour northern Kenya to engage youth on local issues. He accused MPs allied to President Ruto of enabling mismanagement and urged voters in Mount Kenya to elect independent and responsive leaders.
Mimi nimetetea watu ya Mandera na watu ya Wajia na watu ya Garissa, watu ya Marsabit na Isiolo wamedhulumiwa na viongozi wao. Mimi nitaenda Northeastern, vijana ya Gen Z wamenialika niwasaidie katika ukombozi wa Northeastern Province. Mimi niseme mkinipatia nafasi nikuwe rais wa 6 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Kazi ya kwanza hapa Mutira ni kulipa madeni yote ya wakulima ya kahawa wakuwe free waendelee na kazi yao. Number 2 ni kuregesha kazi ilifanywa na Mwai Kibaki, masomo ya primary school ikuwe ya bila malipo. Nitapiga marufuku mnyama anaitwa SHA, niregeshe NHIF.
All right, sasa ni saa ya michezo. And SportPesa Premier League action produced high drama on Saturday as APS Bomet and Shabana played out a pulsating 3-3 draw in Bomet. Shabana took an early lead in the 19th minute and doubled it soon after the break, but APS Bomet fought back in a spectacular fashion, grabbing a late equalizer to seal an entertaining stalemate. Elsewhere, Bandari and Kariobangi Sharks settled for a goalless draw. Police FC edged Mara Sugar 1-0, while Gor Mahia shocked Bidco United 2-1 at Kasarani. Action continues on Sunday with KCB facing Tusker and Ulinzi Stars taking on Muranga Seal.
Results zenyewe zimekuwa nzuri, 3-3 si mbaya, lakini unaangalia hizi bao sisi kwanza tumefungwa. Manake bao ya kwanza imekuwa makosa ya defender, na mimi waga naambia kila siku hii mpira isidunde mbele yako na isidunde nyuma. So bao ya pili naweza sema tumewachia Shabana, ile ni kitu tunge defend. Alafu pia upande wa nidhamu, team tukikuwa chini hivyo ufai kupewa kadi nyekundu. So hiyo kitu Chris amefanya ni kitu, hiyo kitu amefanya ni kitu lazima tutakuwa tunaongelea, maana hizo ndio vitu zinafanyaga unapoteza mechi.
Nashukuru God kwa hiyo fight, imekuwa fight nzuri, imekuwa mechi nzuri, imekuwa ni game ya chances. Tumekuwa na chances, tumescore very beautiful goals, tumecheza very good football, but at the end of the day tumepeana hizo point. Naweza sema imekuwa ni team collective. I'll not blame anyone. It's a team collective. Kuna mahali tulilala kuanzia mbele tukarudi katikati kwa midfield ikafika kwa defense ikaletwa mpaka kwa goalkeeper. So unaweza sema it's a team collective mistake. Ni game ambayo tulikuwa tumeshai grab, walikuwa less. The bad thing ni kwamba players waliingia kwa ni kama ni wao walipewa red card.
I just love the enthusiasm, you know, I just love to hear it. Okay, now moving on, stakeholders have praised the government for integrating sports as a co-curricular activity under the competency-based education curriculum, saying the move will help identify, nurture and develop talents nationwide. Now, the praise was led by veteran coach Francis Kimanzi during the opening of the Kamulu Rufin School Sports Arena, a facility meant to support early talent development in learning institutions. And the speakers called on the government to increase funding for sports infrastructure, noting that adequate facilities will be key as Kenya prepares to co-host the 2027 AFCON.
With the new school curriculum model, where the talent is also a key focus, I think this is also the way to go. At least kids can get an opportunity, or the learners can get an opportunity to have the balance and to have a taste of what they believe to do in. Because I believe every learner has an opportunity and has a certain talent that when given an opportunity and a platform, the talent can excel.
Competency-based education, because we've moved from extracurriculum to now it being something that is also valued as much as education. It's good that most of the kids are taking this pathway. I wish that we had such opportunities when we were growing. It's a good opportunity for them.
Qualified for the World Cup for the first time. Again, the number of tournaments that the girls are being given, I think it's a motivation enough to get the girls up there and play football.
It's really paying, and actually they're earning a living through sports. Unlike before, it's important that we try and tap in and give them opportunities just to be able to prepare themselves for the various sports disciplines.
Okay. Alafu nilikuwa nimeambiwa na Saimo, who's my cameraman, ni wakati wa michezo, si wakati wa mchezo. Okay, sawa, michezo imeisha. All right, and that's of course the end of our first part of the show. I like it here because now you know from here it's saying what? This is a maneno tam inakuja. And like I mentioned earlier when we started the show, and like on my social media throughout the day, tonight we're discussing something very sensitive. It's affecting very many families, very many couples, and I just put it up and I think the comments were so many, and I mean people are really going through it. Somebody here, let me just read one or two. When you unasema to anything is possible in these marriages today. Maureen Teach, I really feel you because you're saying that is the phase I am in at the moment. Catherine Kiteto, you say it's the norm nowadays. Harley Humphrey, I don't know. You say it's a normal thing once you get pregnant. Women on the other side. Women on the other side. Let's just take a look at some of these comments. And of course, you can talk to us throughout the show. Tell us what you think about, this thing, silent divorce, whereby you guys munaishi in the same house, but mwingine analala huku. It's like you live separate lives. Same house, same roof. The family is there, the kids are there, but you guys live separate, separate lives. Let's come to, so so we'll call them anonymous ones. And this is, yes, it was so nice. We had already healed at the crime scene. Then we parted. I like this comment. Yani mulikapo mkahil, alafu sando, you parted ways. Hey, okay. This is nice. All right. So you know what? Keep them coming. Talk to me on my social media pages. And of course, on our WhatsApp number, we'll be highlighting some of the comments. Don't go away. We are back shortly.